is Céline Ross from Montreal, Canada, and I am a Janome educator. Today I will present you one of the Janome machine from the Skyline series, the fabulous S7, which is an electronic sewing machine. So let's discover the machine together. The wonderful Skyline S7 comes with 240 built-in stitches, including 11 one-step buttonhole and 7 alphabet. Quilters and designers will really appreciate the AccuFeed Flex layering fabric feeding system and the auto presser foot lift. We have also the Stitch Composer creation program. You can add stitches, decorative stitches, to the one that you have by creating them on your computer. All the presser foot, almost all the presser foot are snap-on. With the knee lifter, you can do a special technique who's called variable zigzag for the free motion quilting. The needle plate is a one-step conversion, and the machine comes with a soft cover and 15 feet and some more accessories. So when you buy your machine, the first thing you should do is read your instruction book. They come in the machine, they come in the box, English and French. Also, you have a DVD, instruction DVD. So you should look at it before you do some stitches. You know, you have to start without any problem and practice yourself. We have a little software that comes with the machine. We have a USB port on the side. If the stitch, or you want to create any stitches that are not in the machine, you need a software. So with the software on the computer, you create your stitch, 9mm wide. You save it onto a USB stick and insert in the machine, and the machine will sew the stitches that you create. So first, let's start discovering the machine by looking at the anatomy of the machine. So it's a portable machine with a long, convenient handle. Also, if I lift the lid, I can see the inside of my machine. This is where I'll put my spool, I'll make my bobbin. Then, it is an electronic machine. So I have my speed control, slow and fast, electronic thread cutter, foot down, foot up by a command, because the machine can do it by itself. Then needle down, needle up. This is a lock stitch, reverse button, and start stop button, because your machine can sew without the foot control if you prefer. On the side here I have the needle threader. I told you that we have an electronic cutter here, but we have a cutter on the side if we want to cut by hand. Also, it's a portable machine, so if I remove this part here, this is it's a storage case, so you can insert all your feet if you want. Okay, and if you want to use it just on the side, it is also possible. And then you have a second part that this one doesn't open, but you can insert some longer feet, like those two big heavy feet. Just slide in and we're okay. Of course, we have to start. If you want to sew, we need thread. So first we're going to make a bobbin and thread the machine. So I will insert my bobbin. There's no way is good to use the spool, of thread, because it's a big spool of thread. I will use the bigger spool holder. Okay, and then I want to make a bobbin. This is my bobbin winding. And to do it, I have to just to follow the thread guide. So I'm doing 1, they're all numbered. 1, 2, 3. I need the bobbin, and they're blue because Skyline series is blue. Then from the center out, there's a hole. I will insert the thread, hold it with my right hand, okay, declutch the machine, and we're using the start stop button or the foot control if you prefer. I'm holding this tight and I let go to make a bobbin. So I fill up the bobbin until I'm pleased with. I can stop at any time and restart at any time. When the thread is really secure, I'm cutting the tail here. And when I'm happy with the amount of thread, I have a thread cutter on top here, and my thread is ready. My bobbin is ready to be inserted in the bobbin case. So this is the bobbin case part. There's a little arrow near the black grid here, so it's going to lift up the window, the plastic window. My thread has to come from the left side through the back. I just drop my bobbin, insert in the tension under the guide, and then I'll follow the number 1, 2. So 1, 2, and I cut my thread. This is finished. It's there. There's no need to take it out from here and pull it at the back. Now, the upper thread. We always thread the machine the foot up because it opens the tension disc here. And again, I do the same thing. I will follow my number. So 1, 2, 3, and everything is numbered. 4, 5. This is a guide. This is my needle bar, 6. And we have a special guide, number 7, which is new with the Skyline series. And then I go on the side and I cut my thread to make sure that you won't miss to thread the needle eye. The needle has to be at the highest position, which is obtained by pressing this up and down needle button. So I just have to press and my needle is thread. So just put the thread under the foot towards the back. The machine has 240 stitches, and you know, under the lid you see them well. They're divided by categories. You have 12 categories here. I'll explain later what it is. One thing I'd like to mention to you, which is very convenient sometimes, the side of the machine opens, and on the side you have a manual thread cutter. Now we're going to look what comes with the machine. Okay, so already you saw my little convenient scissors. I have a knee lifter, which is a third hand. We'll use it a little bit after. I have all my 15 feet here plus accessories. They all come with the machine. Whatever the stitch or the technique you want to do with the machine, the feet are included with the machine. So far there's nothing else to buy unless you want to do something very special. So we have tons of optional accessories. Okay, so we have a quilting feet here. All type of feet will go one by one. Feet with guide, for decorative stitches, hemming, zipper, button, quilting, I told you. And we have a thread holder, a buttonhole, another needle plate. You'll see why. Needle, seam ripper to clean, and a screwdriver. As soon as you turn on your machine, this is the welcome screen. So the first stitch that appears on the machine, it's by default stitch number 1, which is a straight stitch. So we will discover the utility of these buttons. Okay, so I'm not sewing with the foot control yet. So if I press start, look, my foot is already going down by itself. And I use my speed control to increase or decrease the speed. I'm stopping. The machine stopped right away. If I'm finished, if I want, I can cut my thread right away. The machine will bring the upper thread underneath the fabric, and the two threads are cut at the same time, and the length is consistent at all the time. Now I'm going to start again to sew, and I will go faster. If I stop, do you notice that the needle always is down? But if I want, I can use my lift at the back, keep sewing, or I can ask my machine with that touch, that button here, to raise the foot by itself. If I want to stop without doing a back stitch, just doing a lock stitch, the machine will stitch 5-6 stitches at the same place, and then I can use my thread cutter. So these are electronic function, but I use them manually. Now if I want to do a reverse, this is my reverse button. Okay, so speed control, thread cutter, lift the the presser foot, sorry, needle down, needle up, lock stitch button, reverse, start, stop. On the other side, on my screen here, I have other function. So let's say every stitch is here. I can change the length and the needle position. I don't want to dirty my screen, or I don't want to ask for a stitch and the other stitch is chosen. So I'm using my stylus, and the machine will show me the stitch, the way it's going to be sewn, which foot I should use to sew that stitch, this needle position, and the stitch length. If I don't like this, I can change my length and I can change my needle position. Because this machine is 9 millimeter, the width is 9 millimeter, I have 91 needle position. So it's very precise and very convenient when I do top stitch, when I do piping, or zippers, or soutache, or then I have other stitch here. Okay, number 2, look at the diagram. So by itself the machine will back stitch at the beginning and at the end. Cut my thread. So my back stitch automatic. So here it's electronic, here is on command. If I don't like these heavy stitches on top of the other, I will choose my number 3, which is my lock stitch at the beginning and my lock stitch at the end. Then again I use my thread cutter. Does a very clean job. Just a little lock stitch. So if I want a top stitch, you know, this is more secure, and this is for top stitching, it's convenient. Also automatic left needle position. My triple stitch for reinforced sewing, reinforce a seam, and if I want, I can change the length. I can use this stitch also for top stitching. The first window is utility stitches. The machine comes with 240 stitches, and they're divided by category. Altogether you have 12 categories. So when you turn on the machine, you have utility stitches. Utility stitches is here. So you have two choices. You can choose on the screen and you can choose here. But on the screen you see just half of the stitch. You have to turn the page to see the other half. So these are this key is the utility stitches. If I'm touching the second one, oh, now I see all the other sections, segment, and each of them has different stitches, of course. So all the stitches you see here under the lid of the machine, they appear on the screen. So just touch. So we have applique, heirloom, quilting, satin, bridge, decorative, and it's not finished. Turn the page. Then you have extra long stitch, pictogram, and play decorative stitches. We also have alphabet, 3 types of alphabet. So block, script, and block 9 millimeter. This is a shop. So you have capital letters, small letters. We have numbers, and we have punctuation. I don't know if it's a word in English, but and also we have something very convenient here and very helpful, I should say, is the t-shirt. The t-shirt is the application section. So if you don't know, let's say you don't know how to program the machine or to set the machine to do some type of technique. Well, here it's the application, the t-shirt application will do it for you. Let's say you want to serge your fabric because it frays, okay? So in this section it tells you which stitches you need to use, and they appear also on the lid, under the lid here, okay? So for woven fabric, for stretch fabric or knit, thin, thick fabric, and very heavy fabric. So let's choose this one for a stretchy fabric. You have nothing to do. You see the stitch here, the foot that you have to use. For you, it's pre-programmed. It's going to set your needle position or the width of the stitch and the stitch length. So I cannot touch this one, you see, because it's pre-programmed, and the machine by itself told me you can do it. But it gives me the opportunity to change the length. It depends on the thickness of the fabric. You want to see more, there's an arrow. Then you see different option. So again, the stitch length, you can play with the tension, and you can manage with the height of the foot, the automatic height of the foot. So really everything is there. And you can, whoops, I'm going to go back, sorry. Okay, I'm okay. Then you have other function here. I should start with this. When you buy the machine, the first thing to look at is the set mode. Set mode, you can personalize your machine to your own need. So the screen color, the beep sound, do you want it in metric or in inches of your machine? We turn the page. You have a timer, you know, the timer is to standby is to I don't know how to tell you. I'm sorry. I speak French, so I'm sorry. Calibrate your screen. Oh, you can format your machine and format a USB stick. So why there's a USB stick? Because you have a USB port on the side. And so the machine has 240 stitches. This includes utility stitches, decorative stitches, and alphabet. So the stitches are divided by category, and you have 12 categories. So you have enough to play for a long time. So when I turn on my machine, by default, you have a straight stitch, number 1. The length, the needle position is set by the machine. So you just have to start. Did you see? My foot, the foot of the machine went down by itself. If I start, there's no problem. But there's another function that I have. So let's say I have to press the button to lift my foot. By pressing this button is the auto pivot. And then I can, as soon as I stop, the needle stay down and I can restart sewing. So we have other options. I would like to show you those two here because they're very important. Okay, so if I want to use a regular sewing, I can use my reverse button, but by number 2 I have a pre-programmed backstitch, reverse stitch. So the machine is set to do my reverse at the beginning and at the end. If I want just a lock stitch, it's pre-programmed, lock stitch at the beginning, and when I ask, lock stitch at the end. I'll use my thread cutter, and automatically the machine will bring the 2 threads at the back, the upper thread and of course the lower thread at the back, and the thread cutting is consistent. The machine comes with 15 feet, sorry, I speak French better than English. So you have the buttonhole foot, and if I want to use it, I just need to insert a button inside that foot, at the back of the foot, and my machine will sew a buttonhole. Where is my buttonhole? I have a section for this buttonhole in the utility stitches, and the buttonholes are there. So I have one step buttonhole, but 11 different buttonholes, different designs. I have this stabilizer also, which is very convenient when I have different thickness of fabric. Or I'm going to lock, because I don't want to hurt myself, okay? Remove the needle plate, insert the right one, and then I'm secure, okay? Unlock the machine. So this button is located here. Now I would like to do quilting or sewing for multiple layer of fabric. So we have the even foot that I will attach to the machine. I'll attach, and there's a little guy here that I have to push inside to activate the upper teeth. I will tell my machine that I'm using that foot. So I was with the regular straight stitch with foot A. Now I'm going to use the AD foot for a straight stitch, and I want to land my seam, lower my foot control, and let's go. So you see, I'll go slow. Look at the teeth of it. There's upper teeth and lower teeth, so it will bring all my thickness, after thickness of fabric, it will move forward all my thicknesses together. So at the end, they'll be even. Cut my thread. So because I want to do some stippling or move freely, I cannot use that foot. So I will change it with all the feet are letters or numbers with the PDH foot, which is a free arm foot. And then I can move freely my fabric and sew. And when I need to lift my foot, you see, this is my knee lifter that will activate the up and down foot here. One thing that I really suggest is to make a panel like this. It's an exercise panel, and you will practice everything that you have on the machine. You will practice all the section of the machine, decorative stitches, different application, your buttonhole sections, your elongation section, your quilting, your stippling. You will use this kind of panel. You will use all the feature of all the feet that comes with the machine, and you will use your feature of the feature of your machine. You have a set mode that you can put the machine to suit to your need. Language, brightness, tension. You just have to follow and turn the page, and you personalize the machine to your suit, to your needs. So I wish you many hours of pleasure with this machine, which is the Skyline S7. You can look our social media. Janome Canada is on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, name it. Janome is everywhere. We have a blog also. We can answer you in English and French, maybe some other language that I don't know, that I'm not aware. But I wish you many hours of pleasure with the Skyline S7 from Janome. I wish you, Janome wish you, everybody wish you to enjoy your machine.